6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Nayab. First, the headlines. Prime Minister told Kashmiri leadership that Pakistan will continue to extend maximum possible assistance to Kashmiris in their just struggle for right to self-determination. Foreign Minister is in Tokyo on a 4-day official visit to Japan. Election Commission of Pakistan has invited application from political parties for allotment of electoral symbols for next general elections. Pakistan and India today swapped lists of prisoners languishing in each other's prisons. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation has decided to convene an emergency meeting next week to discuss burning of the Holy Quran in Sweden. The United Nations Security Council has unanimously voted to end a decade-long peacekeeping mission in Mali. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif has assured Kashmiri leadership that Pakistan will continue to extend maximum possible assistance to Kashmiris in their just struggle for right to self-determination. He reiterated that resolve during a telephonic conversation with the President of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, Barrister Sultan Mahmood, to exchange Eid greeting. The two leaders condemned the human rights violations in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and expressed solidarity with the Kashmiri people. They also paid tribute to brave Kashmiris for courageously and steadfastly facing the state terrorism of India. Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has reached Tokyo on a 4-day official visit to Japan. Pakistan's ambassador to Japan, Raza Bashir Tarar, and Japanese officials of Ministry of Foreign Affairs received Bilawal Bhutto Zardari at the airport. The foreign minister's visit signals the revival of leadership-level contacts with Japan after a considerable hiatus. During the visit, the foreign minister will hold delegation-level talks with his Japanese counterpart, Yoshihisa Hayashi. The foreign minister will also call on the Prime Minister of Japan, Fumio Kishida, besides holding a meeting with the National Security Advisor of Japan, Takeo Akiba. Minister of Communications Mufti Asad Mahmood says the government is making all-out efforts to review the development process in the country. Talking to various delegations in Dera Ismail Khan, he said various projects have been started for the development of southern districts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. He said the development projects include restoration of City 2, Abdul Khail Grid Station, Isa Khail to Miawali Road and Pizot Tank Road. He said China will build a cargo airport in Jatarar area after completion of York Tank Road. Economic experts and business community have hailed Pakistan's agreement with the IMF, terming it critical for economic revival in the country. SAARC Chamber of Commerce and Industry former President Iftikhar Ali Malik, in a statement in Islamabad today, said much-needed International Monetary Fund bailout package will help implement structural reforms in the country. President Gilgit-Baltistan Chamber of Commerce and Industry Imran Ali praised the efforts of the economic team of Pakistan led by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif for signing agreement with the IMF. Famous economist Ghulam Mahmood, commenting on the agreement with IMF, said that it is a good omen for Pakistan. Election Commission of Pakistan has invited application from the political parties for allotment of electoral symbols for next general election by 19th of this month. In a press release issued today, the Commission said the application, duly signed by the respective party head, should be submitted at ECP office in Islamabad. Eid al-Adha festivities continue across the country on the third day today. The faithful sacrificed animals in commemoration of supreme sacrifice offered by Hazrat Ibrahim a.s. and Hazrat Ismail a.s. Meat of sacrificial animals is being distributed among destitute and needy people besides relatives. The families are visiting recreational sites and their relatives. The children are also enjoying festivities on the occasion of Eid al-Adha. President Dr. Arif Alvi and other leaders of Muslim world called on Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Mina. During the meeting, the Crown Prince greeted the dignitaries for performing Hajj and also Eid al-Adha. He also prayed for well-being of Muslim Ummah. During a brief interaction with President Dr. Arif Alvi, Saudi Crown Prince also expressed good wishes for people of Pakistan. This is Radio Pakistan. Pakistan has handed over a list of 308 Indian prisoners, including 42 civilian prisoners and 266 fishermen, in its custody to the High Commission of India in Islamabad. The Indian government also handed over the list of Pakistani prisoners in Indian jails to Pakistan High Commission in New Delhi. According to the list, there are a total of 417 Pakistanis in Indian jails, including 343 civilian prisoners and 74 fishermen. Foreign Office spokesperson in a statement has urged Indian government to release and repatriate all those Pakistani civilian prisoners and fishermen who have completed their respective sentence and their national status stands confirmed. Pakistan and India exchanged the lists of prisoners in each other's custody on 1st January and 1st July every year. Pakistan has expressed serious concern over United Nations Security Council inability to secure implementation of its resolutions on Palestine and Kashmir. Pakistan's permanent representative to the United Nations in New York, in his remarks on the Council's annual report, said despite Security Council unequivocal resolutions calling for a UN-supervised plebiscite in Jammu and Kashmir, India continues its occupation of Kashmir through a reign of terror imposed by an occupying army exceeding 900,000 troops. The United Nations Security Council has unanimously voted to end a decade-long peacekeeping mission in West African country, Mali. The decision was taken after military junta of country abruptly asked the 13,000-strong force to leave. The 15-member council adopted a French-drafted resolution asking to begin the cessation of its operations and safe withdrawal of its personnel by December 31 this year. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, occupation troops in their unabated acts of state terrorism martyred 17 Kashmiris, including a woman, during the last month of June. According to a report released by the Section Research of Kashmir Media Service, of those, one was martyred by the troops in a fake encounter or in custody. During the month, at least 6 people were injured after Indian troops used brute force on peaceful protesters, while 24 civilians were arrested under black laws in 223 cordon and search operations. Meanwhile, Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, found himself in a very odd situation after questions were raised about the justification of the so-called All India Judges meeting in Srinagar, which concluded today. At the time he was presiding over the meetings, People's Democratic Party President Mehbooba Mufti took to Twitter to draw his attention towards the illegal revocation of Article 370. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation has decided to convene an emergency open meeting of the Executive Committee next week to discuss the burning of Holy Quran in Sweden. The meeting will be held in Jeddah to discuss the measures to be taken against the heinous act and to adapt a collective position on the necessary course of action. Earlier in a press release, the General Secretariat had condemned the recurrence of these despicable acts and attempts to violate the sanctity of Holy Quran. In France, the government has deployed 45,000 police and several armored vehicles to tackle the widespread protests and riots continuing for the last 4 days. France's Interior Ministry said that 994 people have been arrested. The violent protests erupted in Paris after Nail, a 17-year-old of Algerian and Moroccan descent, was shot during a traffic stop on Tuesday. And in India, at least 25 people were killed and 8 others injured when a bus crashed and caught fire on an expressway today. The bus was on its way to the city of Pune when it hit a pole and overturned, causing its diesel tank to catch fire. And finally, the weather report. Mainly hot and humid weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain, wind, thunder showers likely in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, northeast Punjab. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletin on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.